What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel, coming at you with another upload. And before I actually get onto this upload, I had made an announcement about a video 2 videos ago that I have some new artisanals coming in that I was gonna review on the channel. Unfortunately, they have not made their way to me yet. There have been delays, and I'm still waiting on them. So just to clear that out, I haven't forgot about them. I will be making an experience video upload as soon as I get my hands on them. But for the time being, they have yet to make their way to me, and that is why I haven't put them up there. So I haven't forgot about them. As soon as I get them, I'll put them out. But for today's video, I'm gonna share with you my favorite, possibly the only great, if not the greatest, leather-based perfume for yours truly, and that is Tom Ford Ombre leather. And this is what we are looking at here for the bottle. So I have the smaller version of the bottle, and with respect to the bottom, this is what we're looking at. The top, and then I'm just gonna take, so this is the inside of the cap, and we've got the sprayer here, and this is Tom Ford Ombre leather, and it is a Eau de Parfum. Now, this, in my humble opinion, is the best leather perfume on the market for how much it costs and for the brand you're paying for also. And the reason I say that is, if you've ever went car shopping in a high-end like German dealership, like a Mercedes or a BMW or even Porsche, and you walked past the entry-level, the mid-level cars and went straight to the higher-end ones like S-Class or the AMG Variety or the Alpina for BMW, these cars, other than Alcantara, they come with Napa leather. Now, Napa leather is lambskin, but it's not just any lambskin. It's pre-select sort of prime of the prime of lambskin. It's so soft, so tender. It is very luxurious. It is the best leather you can get, to the best of my knowledge, in a car. Now, when you do open the door and enter the car to sit in it, it has this very nice tanned leather smell to it. And this right here reminds me of that. It just reminds me of a very nice, expensive, luxurious, high-end German car. I've never smelt the leather of a Rolls Royce or a Ferrari, so I can't comment on that, but I can say with certainty that the way this smells is the way the leather inside Mercedes or a BMW smells like. Now, with respect to this, I'm gonna walk you through the notes as well as Tom Ford's musings of this, so you are aware of what's in it. It is a very masculine-leaning scent, but I will say this: girls can pull it off too. It's just, this scent isn't really about masculine or feminine as much as an edgy sort of bad boy, baddie, girl, boss, babe sort of vibe to it. And this is really what this is about. So let's get on with the the notes and the musings and whatnot. So the fragrance family is warm and spicy. The scent type is woody spices. Keynotes are black leather, violet flower, and jasmine flower. So again, on the masculine note, anytime you see violet is in a lot of men's products, and it gives this very purple kind of feel to a perfume. So that's why I enjoy perfumes that are violet based, and why this appeals to me a lot. So violet is in here. Black leather, I'm not really sure how they captured that. As if, the scent of black leather is different from brown leather. Whoever came up with this, I don't think thought this through. Could have just left it a leather. Uh, but the fact that they had to highlight the scent of black leather, I, like, I just, and maybe I'm not aware of this, but do colors smell different? Because if they do, I mean, I need to get my nose checked. Okay. Fragrance description. The tactile sensuality of rich black leather, textured with addictive patchouli and vetiver, envelops like a second skin. The perfume's floral tones of jasmine sambac conjure wild desert beauty, while layers of amber and moss mimic the heat of rock and sand. So this is very interesting. This is the first time I read the fragrance description. So this is catered almost to a desert like environment, which is odd with this one because it's not the first thing that comes to mind. They also have a bit of a write-up on the bottle, and that is packaged in a matte black falcon with fall leather plaque. The ombre leather flaken, not falcon, flaken, captures the bold tactile sensuality of the spicy leather scent. Okay, and then you have the about the fragrance, which is the Tom Ford musing, and that is ombre leather is a deeply textural scent that imprints you with a tactile sensuality. It makes one feel different, beautiful, and desired. You know what? This is actually fairly close. It's the reason I've said earlier that this reminds me a lot of sitting in a Napa leather seat of a German car is because it evokes that sensation. And I would agree. There's something about the scent where when you smell it, if you've rubbed your hand, so when I sat inside these cars, obviously other than the scent of the leather, you run your hand on the leather. That's how you know it's so soft. This evokes that memory or that sensation. It's true, and I would agree with Tom Ford's statement that there's something about this that's very tactile. You're not touching anything, but it evokes this sensation as if you're not just smelling the leather, but you're feeling how soft it is. It's such an intriguing and odd scent, considering that when I smelled it the first time, I was like, why would anyone buy this? It smells like a car. This is the first thought. And it took me 3 times going into Sephora before I bought it. So I bought it on my 3rd time because I was so hesitant about it, just because, well, I don't want to smell like a car. But then the more I got my nose on it, the more I started picking on the nuances and the subtleties of it. Yes, it starts off with a very strong leather, but my God, it develops so well. The violet in there is gorgeous. The ambery tones, as well as just the overall sort of edgy, classy, but bad vibe to it is what really intrigued me. And let me give you my own sort of fancy when it comes to this. This is such a bad boy but classy, sort of edgy version of a bad boy, in the sense that you got your Indian bike outside of your house, you put on your nice boots, you put on your black leather jacket, you've got your biker t-shirt under with your biker jeans, preferably True Religion, and you got your skull ring on, and you've got your nice tight black shades. You put a few spritz of this, you get on your bike, and you hit the highway, and you just drive endless roads, just the open road welcoming you with open arms, and it's just freedom. You want to throw in there too some scotch and a cigar, preferably a Cuban or a Nicaraguan. But the point is, there's something about this that's just raw, but is refined at the same time. Doesn't go all the way smelling like a leather that came out of a tanning factory. It's just very elegant, but it's also edgy. It's like there's an edge to that elegance where if you cross the line, you know you're about to get sacked in the face. Is the best way I can put it. So it gives this sort of bad, edgy boy slash girl vibe to it. It's very. I agree with the term sensual just because of how the leather and the violet and the amber and the other stuff in there works together. It's very, very sensual in that sense. Now, is it, bordering on sexual? I'm gonna stick on the side of sensual. It's not that kind of a scent, but it's a very, very well done composition for its intended purposes and the music as described by Tom Ford. This is one of my favorites when I am just, wanna be pretentious bad boy, cause I don't have a bad bone in my body unless like I need to defend someone I care for. Otherwise, it's like this is that kind of a perfume where um, you put on and you are just it's difficult to put into words because it's like okay, well, I'm a sort of, I got my leather jacket on and I'm like, I've got this bad boy edgy vibe, but I'm also really classy. It's a quite amazing achievement what they did with this is that they've managed to get a raw sort of feel to the perfume and image combined with classiness. And in the middle, is a sensibility of edginess, if that makes any sense. But it's a beautiful perfume. I haven't gotten my nose on the new iteration of this, and I don't think I will. I'm really happy with this, and I don't see a reason to get another one or a stronger composition just because this is right now my favorite leather perfume, and it's working out very well for me. Now, with respect to performance, how does this perform? It's not beast mode. I'd say like, it's a little bit over. Like if we used a scale of 1 to 10, somewhere around 5.5 to 6.5 in terms of performance. It's not really intended to be in your face aggressive. It's just a very classy, subtle scent that's just very, as that fancying has mentioned earlier, and I agree with, sensual. So it performs in that way. In terms of projection, again, not overly strong, just enough. It's pleasant. It's to the point where people can smell it off of you, but not to the point where they can smell it, a few blocks down the road. And I'm exaggerating here, but it does have good projection in that sense. It's not overbearing. In terms of trail and sillage, I'll say it's a very close trail and sillage. The trail you will leave will be, shortly following you. And the sillage, I wouldn't say lingers around that long just because, again, it's not intended to be a braggy perfume. It's a kind of a perfume that you put on if you're just very confident about yourself. You have this sort of vibe to you, like if you're a dude or you're a gal and you're walking up to a dude or a gal and you're like, you know what, I like your vibe. This is what this perfume conveys. I like your vibe. I like your vibe. Let's vibe together. That's what this perfume is. It's a vibe, and it's a vibe in a subtle, understated way, with undertones of rawness, if that's a word, edginess, but it's also done very elegantly and in a very classy manner. So with this one, it's just amazing. I've got nothing bad to say about it. I've never got anything bad to say about any of the perfumes I have just because I wouldn't buy them if I didn't enjoy them. But would I recommend this as a blind buy? If you need a leather perfume, you don't have one in your collection, yes, blind buy this. I don't think you're gonna regret it. in terms of, relevance, this still today is still sort of the standard when it comes to comparisons of leather perfumes. I know that the other one by Tom Ford is Tuscan Leather, that's referenced a lot. I've put my nose on Tuscan Leather. I prefer this more. I think this is closer to a leather scent, and I really, really enjoy this. I think there's a few others out there, and there's leather mixed with some blends, but this is my go-to leather. It's my preferred composition, and I highly, highly recommend for you guys to get your nose on it. I will say this though, because I haven't tried a lot of leather perfumes. If you are aware of some really good ones that you have in your collection or you got your nose on, please feel free to share down in the comments. I would be very intrigued to find out about these and get my nose on them and see if there's something out there that's better than this, because to me this is the cream of the crop, and I thoroughly enjoy it. Um, Before I get going, the one last thing I mentioned is how you can wear this. Ideally, you're not gonna go wrong with a leather jacket, a nice white tee, and jeans. But you can also pull this with a suit. I wouldn't say semi-casual. You either go very formal or very kind of bad boy casual. So leather jacket. You put this with a leather jacket, you're golden. I mean, you smell the way you look. That's the best thing about it. So you're very congruent. You match the image you're trying to convey, or the sort of style or vibe you're trying to, benefit off of, I guess, or use to represent yourself. But yeah, it goes either way in terms of seasons. This one is a bit tough because I wouldn't say it's a seasonal scent per se. I think you can wear it any season. I don't see the seasons affecting it much. But I will say this, that this is a much better evening fragrance than a morning fragrance. Again, comes to life better in the evening, and is very befitting of a leather jacket sort of bad boy edgy vibe, if that's what you're going for. If you're going for a playboy vibe, would not work with this. There's nothing really playful about this. This is very sort of composed and grounded. Like I said, you need to be a kind of a dude or a gal that, knows themselves very well and is very comfortable in their own skin to pull this off convincingly. And the keyword here is convincingly. Congruence matters. Behavior needs to match actions and words, etc., etc. But I think that will be it for this upload. Really appreciate your time, and attention, and tuning in onto this one. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.